Welcome, welcome, welcome. Today will be part two of FL Studio making a trap beat with guitar. Part one, you'll see me uh, create the beat and how I use different kind of chords, come up with the beat, really construct the whole song. And in this part, I'm gonna begin uh, just fixing everything before I turn it into waveform, and then uh, just start on a little of the process of engineering it, getting it into at least the first mix down. But I'm not going to go fully all the way through it because that's going to be quite a few hours. But I'm just going to show some examples and show some stuff in FL Studio that will possibly take you to the next level in engineering. So enough of that. Let's get into the video. All right. So let's see. Boom. All right. Here's the beat. Okay. One thing I see, and that is that this crash needs to be tuned. the timing of this crash proper, I'll be able to make it quicker. All right, now that that's better. Okay, so thinking of hearing the horn. Now from this, there's something I want to check, and that will be quantizing of the whole pattern, which means everything should be tight, like that wasn't. Uh, there's something else like this too. It's not finished. the sound of the snare gonna be. This is why this is used. All right. Now I'm just gonna basically go through to check a couple of things. Um, what I'm gonna do. Okay, since we got this, now I'm gonna go in here and I want to check something. Okay, let me go back. I need to find the key in. Verify this. Very nice. All right, let me go back to the kit. Back. Okay. You see the kick. Kick right here. You see, this kick was out of tune. One piece in here and two pieces. So, um, let's hear it now. Okay, now what I just did was tune the kick. Okay, so even though it tells you that the kick sometimes be broken into different pieces, so I want to make sure that the kicks is in key. And now that I got that, just one other thing, this I believe it's this keyboard here. Yeah, this one has no data on it whatsoever. All right, so I don't want to be holding on to this for no reason. All right, we're gonna have to do some regrouping. And I'm gonna have to bring this over one. All right, then we gotta do some regrouping here. All right. 5, 6, 7, 12. Okay, beautiful. All right. Now what I'm gonna do is change them all into waveforms. So I'm gonna do a reset. This is in MIDI. And what you want to do is while you're in MIDI, you have to turn all your stuff into WAV files. And the reason why this is just one part. Now, I got them labeled in color. Come at the top, swipe all the way down to the bottom here, except for master. That's an automation. Come over here to first click, first channel, right click, channel routing. This way, everything is right here. I can see what it is. Now I'm gonna put dividers up, separate this base right here. We're gonna throw a separator here. This chart. We're gonna put another one here. This is for vocals. All right, so I got everything separated, colored. And so now, this is just the first half, which is preparing. And what you're gonna do right here is you gotta make sure the music is on time, everything is the way it's supposed to be, done in shape. Then you wanna print this copy in a waveform. And the reason why is because you got your plugins, but with computer things happen, things go wrong. So when things go wrong, if you can't pull up that instrument, that sound is gone. And then it's just there's nothing you can do about it. Another thing is the label, the sound, and the number. That's another smart way of in case something happens. But if you turn it into waveform, it's already done, so you don't lose anything. Plus, it lowers your CPU instead of everything on MIDI. And when you're doing tracks, they have to be turned into waveforms. All right. So these are MIDI forms, and this has to be turned into waveform. So what we're gonna do is exactly that, and I'm going to highlight them all. And I'm right click, render, and replace. All right, this is going to take a couple seconds. It's going to beep back and forth when it's finished. We'll continue. Okay, now these is all WAV files. Okay, now I want to play them to see how they sound. Okay, of course, we're going to have to go back to mixing again. Okay, so when I come here, these is the WAV files. And if I show all, it's going to show these MIDI files. So with these MIDI files, I'm going to get rid of them. But before I get rid of them, I'm going to check to see if the WAV files are all cool, nothing wrong with them before I make that choice. Okay. So let's go up here to WAV file. And then I'm going to renumber these the same way. Okay. So now I'm going to play them I'm gonna begin to do a mix. I'm gonna mix them first. Starting with the basic kick. All right, I'm gonna come up here with a whole beat playing and loop it. Now, if you look over here before, this was up here was at 70 something. And now it's down to 12. Okay, so it reduces your CPU. Now I'm gonna play it through to make sure everything is all right. Um, so far it is. Uh, there is one mistake, and that is that I shouldn't have put effects on this guitar until afterwards, is what I feel. Because I could have done them a little. song. And then I can begin to well, there's a couple things. This crash should have lasted to me for 2 bars. The sound started fading on the second one. I'll listen again. Kind of thinking of something too. I wonder if I move this down to if I made a copy, then I can make that unique so to come in. That's optional. Let me hear it. I'm gonna leave the MIDI. I turn them off, but I'm going to leave them just in case if I want to go back and do something else. No, we always have to delete them. All right. So now that this is in waveform, all right. This is where I would load up BrainWorks. Okay. I'm gonna do a series on this. This is the 9000J. I like the E, the G channel, all of them. BrainWorks make excellent plugins. I mean, uh, plugin alliance. They make very good plugins. All right. So what we're going to start with is I'm going to go down here. We're going to deal with a low end. Also, I like Sound Toys Decapitator. I'll show you what that's about. But also, uh, there's a couple of them out. Let me see. We're going to start with the kick. Let me go into the track where the kick is. I'm going to solo the kick. I'm going to loop it. Let's hear it. Okay. Now I'm beginning to dig in on here onto this console. Hit the multiplication button. I'm going to swing down to about 8. This is the parallel compression. Now let me 3 to 1. It's 4 to 1. I'm gonna come on. How you know this threshold's working? Because its lights are light up like on all the SSLs. Not all of them, but most. This here, do I want the compression? Then filter afterwards. All right. Now add the parallel. Okay. This is a high pass filter, and I'm gonna pull it to match my kick. Okay, now I'm gonna bring some highs. All right. And what I'm gonna do here is do a sweep, exaggerate this here. Now I'm gonna pull back. Same technique. Now, one thing I like about Plug-in Alliance and Brainworks material or anything, what I look for in the SSL is not just the SSL sound, which is a part of it, but if I use bass, does the bass go from a clean or the COVID mask, what I call it, what my buddy calls it. It's another term for getting muddy. And does it hold the highs well, the mids well, and the bass well without being distorted? This does a great job. Now add some harmonic distortion. Now that's one thing about Plug-in Alliance. I love this console. I also like the SSL from Oxford. That's another one. I'll be doing a series with that. That's another good one. Okay. Now, on top of this, I have to add 1176 compressor. This is Waves 1176 compressor. Okay. I'm gonna make this up. Sometimes I kind of like to let me turn this down. Use a Bluey. Now the Bluey is thinner. But what I'm doing, even though it is, I like it pick up the highs. I can come in with the SSL. That's bad. All right. Nope. That's a no-no. At least with this one. We'll go back to the black. All right, let me increase the volume because the black he always goes. The Bluey rather goes up. Stop. All right. Hold on 1 minute. Now I'm gonna go to the sub. I hit the multiplier button. Alright, now I'm gonna start to compress. Now I'm gonna feed it parallel compression. Alright. I'm gonna add some distortion. I don't want too much because I'm gonna add the capitator. Okay, and just like the other one, I'm gonna add the 1176. Now, depending on if it's too subby, I might start with a bluey and just. Now, the reason why we did this thin is because when I add the capitator, it's going to give more depth to it. Shout out to Sound Toys. That decapitator is nice. Now, even though you may not have these plugins, the same things can be achieved with stock plugins. Okay. Now I'm going to, for this clap, okay, I'm gonna silence the DX and I'm gonna use FL Studio example of the parametric EQ2, and then the Fruity compressor. Okay. Now, the same thing that I would do with the SSL here, you're going to do the same thing with these two. Okay. First of all, let me play the clap. Turn this down a little. Okay. Now we can press. Okay. I turn this to vintage and make the release fast. The tag time 15. Okay, now bring this down to what my level is. And that's from watching this to let you know how far to move this. That's 18, so we'll move this to 18. Okay. Now, however much I want to use, I can finish hard, medium. All right. Let's hear it with the kick. I still feel it could have a little bottom to it. So I might, let's see. That's just to show you with FL Studio. Um, this that I did with this the parametric EQ. Okay, with using this, you can still use what you have. Okay, you can use what you have. I think the compression is a little light. Let me run it anyway. Yeah. Now this is a lot better. You just have to drive it harder. Different settings with this, and on that vintage setting, um, it differs uh, tremendously. At vintage is kind of like a 1176, but it blends in once you hear it. It's there. Now, actually, that snare sounds pretty good. Uh, if you want to do a comparison, um, between the two, let's start with the BX. Now, of course, you're gonna get the SS sound. SSL sound, and this is plug-in the lines. They make super fire plugins. But I'm showing you, stop with what you got. It's the knowledge. Because I did a whole track with all FL Studio, and there's a lot of stuff in here that you're not using that's good in here. You know, like on that, if you want to spice that snare up just a little bit more with FL Studio, okay, then we got this. You can come in here and get FL Studio. Where is it? It's the transient shaper. Um, where is it? I think he's all the way over here. It's the FL Studios uh, transient shaper. Oh, it's um, hmm, let me see. Okay, this is another one. See, it's a lot of stuff in here because sometimes your instruments can be unbalanced. Okay, like an instrument or a kick or something could be unbalanced. That's good. FL Studio made a balancer. See, it's a lot of stuff in here that you just not using, or maybe you didn't know what it does. I'm gonna use that a lot more. Um, they have it's a transient shaper for that. All right, now let's go back to this. Okay, now that's stop. So let's turn these stock off and let's go into the BX versus 1176. That I was going to do with the transient shaper in FL Studio is add grit, which is the transient shaper. I couldn't locate it because it's too many plugins. Anyway, you're getting to see, yes, you can do some wonderful things with stock plugins, but you see with these plugins, you can get more. Uh, this is the reason why they want you to use it. But now, in the finishing production, if you use FL Studio stock, I've done it before. You will be amazed what you could get. You could get very close. If not all the way, if you know what to do with what you have. There's a lot of things in there. You have to use them. You just can't go and throw the beat together and then don't look at why do you think they put them in there? Okay, so that's the thing about this too. Being you can't be just a producer. You have to be an engineer and producer minded. Because if you don't do these things, then when you get ready to put your stuff together, like the way I had the mix in the beginning. It's just regular and it sounds cool, yes, but it's regular. So when you send your demo in, or you go and rap, steal a beat from YouTube and you rap on it, and then hey, I want a record deal off that, they're gonna say, okay, number one, how you gonna get beat? Is because they know that wherever you got the music from, somebody don't know the knowledge of engineering. So remember, that's 100 to 150,000 out of your account, out of yours, to go get them somebody just to do this part. Then you got to pay another for the engineer to do this. And if your lyrics ain't tight for them to write that, which means you're going to be out of a lot of money. So if you do this too, when they listen to your demo, they know you know what they know. They know that your production is the same as theirs. And then that money can go to you because you've already done it. All right. So that beat maker is, this is a beat maker. We all start off making beats, you know. So that's not the problem. But the one that is identified is the one that don't use this. The one that just throw vocals on there and just mix it with the beat and here is this. That's undone work. They're gonna throw that in the trash. Okay, it's audit repertoire. When you give them your material, it's telling everything you know. Okay, your demo tells them when you play it, they know you ain't done this. You can't hide it or nothing. All right. So that's the purpose of me showing you this. But with stock plugins, you can still get a record deal. With stock plugins, if you know what you do, there's a lot of stuff in FL Studio. You got to use it. Now, of course, it's louder, and something that sounds louder sounds better, but it doesn't. Let me turn it down to where it's supposed to be. Now that fruity balance, it makes me want to come back in here because we look, see this right here, this up high and this low. That's a bad thing. This will give me a chance to try this. Let me see. Um, 'Cause I never really tried that before. I want to use this thing. Where is it? Now I'm looking here to watch the balance of it. That means they be even out of both sides. Okay. Now it's also in the let's see here. Yeah. Okay. Even if you don't use this here. Okay, I'm gonna turn this off. Actually, I can delete it. Is that say CPU? Now, see it's uneven. So what I do is go back here, and I'll go right here to the pan. All of that, those little things make a difference because it's going to make your beat kind of sound weak. You want them to be even. So you can use the balancer or you can go use the pan. All right, now let's add the 1176. Okay, I can use the dark this because it got a little bit more body to it. Let me turn up the volume down, make the release fast. And let me pump up some dB. And just because you hear things sound louder, you don't think, yeah, that sound cool, huh? No, that's how the brain tricks you. Just because it's louder don't mean it's better. All right. So we got this one. It sounds too dark. So I'm going to switch this to a bluey. Same take. We're going to do the same technique for this. did was use this filter, and the reason why I use this filter is because this is a dark sound and it's leaning off into the clap and the bass segment, which is going to cause a frequency fight issue. So I'm removing the issue first. Now, there is another series I'm going to do on FL Studio. I'm going to show you, even though I'm using these plugins, there's other techniques I can use to accomplish the same sound with stock. Just because something is louder don't mean it's right. Okay, let's play this with the beat. Okay, now for this. Same technique. Now I'm going to use this filter to see where I need to cut. I'm using the tape to cut the sound off. Add some grit. All right, now I want to go back and check a couple of things. That's the one I left out of the sub. And the kick. All right, let's hit these back. All right, now I'd add 1176. And this is probably why I use the bluey, because I want it light. Another thing I didn't add it to this, which means I'm gonna have to go back. This got to be the wrong channel. Bluey. It's overly compressed. Let's go into the hi-hat. Automatically, you see it's clear. See, what number are you? Okay, I go into my filter first. I want to check this. Oh my God. I hate when I do this. It really just annoys me. Now, if I want to add a little gate, all right. Now for 1176. I could roll with this, or Okay. Next, we'll be dealing with this crash. Whoa. So first, we're going to add the BX. And we want to control the reason why I want to do this is because I don't want sibilance. I want a clean cymbal. And with cymbal, body is more. I'm gonna add some grit. I'm gonna add some fertilizer, some pressure. Okay. Now let's hear the beat in context so I can hear what I did so far. Oh, nope, not finished yet. Gotta add 1176. And I do want a blackie on this because the cymbals are kind of bassy like. So bring some of this in and bring a little more. All right, let's see what the volume is. A little bit there. All right. See how you sound with the kick. go to the next one. We'll put this down here and turn it off. Here we go again. 1176. That all. We're going to be doing this for the next three instruments. And then last but not least, for the vocals, we're going to get into this. All right. I'm going to get off here in a minute. All right. Okay, I'm gonna do these fast. Okay, cut these off. Do it like this. You up, you up, you up. Next, keyboard sound. Go here. Start with the. Start with the filters. I want to hear the bass. And let's see where these fit in. sort of. So when you hear it, it just have your mind going through the Panomatic this here. There's a lot of stuff in it. You just got to use it. So give it that kind of like bounce and march. All right, let's go to the next instrument. That's two. these is this vocal track. Now I'm gonna have to use the F6 to make these vocals sit right. So I'm gonna solo it. I'm gonna remove the bad parts out. First, I'm gonna start the high pass filter, the sweep. All right, let's hear it. Always remember, hit that save button. Mix and mono. save. Always remember to hit the save button. All right, let's take it off the loop. Let's go for it. Okay, that's cool, but let me add a little booster to the situation. To the situation. Um, yeah. Okay. What I'm gonna do um, next, I'm gonna broadcast again later on today. But what I'm gonna do this time is I'm gonna add the vocal, the rap, and the background vocals um, into it for the whole song, and then get that mix. Then that mix, I'm gonna print, and then the next step will be going into mastering. I'm gonna be using stock first uh, in the mastering process, and then I'm gonna go from stock um, to back to third party, and this will be with Plugin Alliance BX. I'm gonna be using that for the full mastering, but I'll be using FL Studio to give you a different chance to see that you can accomplish some good mastering off of it if you know what you're doing. Just for a stabbing grab, it's most people, they don't really know how to use Maximus. So let me locate Maximus first. Automatic shaper, Maximus, Maximus. You should get somewhere over here. Even though I can use those online, let me see Maximus. I need to load my what you call it, Maximus, EQ, effects. I'm going to Maximus. Here we go. Okay, this is Fruidio FL Studio Mastering Machine. Basically, you're going to solo. This is going to get kind of loud. You're going to solo. And then once you solo this, you're going to check the loads. Siri. Okay. Okay. It's like I said and showed you with Maximus, okay, in FL Studio, it's the knowledge behind knowing how to use the software. If you have the knowledge behind it, like I said, stop with FL Studio. You can get maximum result. Now, I wouldn't just go and master it. There's more steps that got to be done to this music before it's even ready to go into the mastering process. But with stock plugin and what you have, you can get some nice results from FL Studio stock if you know what you're doing with it. The object is to learn the plugins. If you already have third-party plugins, learn them. If you don't, use what you got. Learn what you got because this result of what I just played is more of what they want to hear. This is more for radio ready, even though it's not ready for radio ready yet. It's approaching it. So when you go turn your tape in or you get them off YouTube and they do not sound this way, they we can detect that. They can detect it. Remember, you're telling them yourself. When you give them the demo, you're telling them everything they listening to, everything was done. Now, if you didn't use the plugins, they sound totally different. So they can hear you didn't use the plugins. You just did that. This is Rush and it's incomplete. You want them to give a record deal. Okay, let's say again, if you even got that record deal like that, that lets that people, the record company or investors, they invest money in you, and what they do with you as an artist, they make money off the investment, which that's common sense. Okay, but the thing about it is, it also tells them now they know how this is supposed to sound. If it doesn't have this on it, they know that okay, now we're gonna make money because now, and we got to spend money because we got to get an engineer to do this, and that's 150,000 or more. Okay, and on top of the person to do the music, you know what I mean, and master it and all of this. This is coming out of your pocket for that budget. But now, if you did everything right and it's mixed right, they can do a print from you. That's less cost and that's money in your pocket as an artist. Not only that, while your album is playing, there's other artists for the company who need their stuff mixed. So you can do that. You'll be getting paid 2 or 3 times versus the person who don't know if you are trying to get music for your beats and you're stealing them off YouTube, okay? Which is what people do. Hey, it's the kicks to them. It's the music key. Okay? You don't know that. So that means you don't know what you get. And guess what? There's no way around it. They're going to ask you, song sound nice. Where did you get the music? Okay? And when they ask, oh, I got it off YouTube. From who? Most of you are still in the music. You're not keeping up with the producer. You're not keeping a focus touch of what you're doing. So if it come up, let's say if they like the music and it was done properly. Now that record company got to get in touch with the producer because it's not your music. And he can be sued. Now that's legal problems and all of this of you being slick. Also to producers who when you get them beats from your artists or where off YouTube, there's viruses in them to crash off your computer. So they're not even worth even doing that. If you're an artist, things don't come for free. You have to pay for what you want. And then if you got FL Studio, you got a mind. Use it. Learn what's going on. Okay? This is not what you're applying for a job. You're not the owner of that job. You cannot say what you want. Now, you can bump this for your friends and in a car and all of that. That's cool. But they are not who you're giving the tape to. You're giving it to the record company. And then they have to get in touch with these people. Then when they get in touch with this producer, if they feel like, again, tracking it down, then that producer going to be mad because they is who is you. I don't even know you. Okay? So now y'all arguing in conflict. That record deal is not going to go down. And it's off you being slick. If you buy the beats from somebody or open your mouth and talk to a producer, hey, I need tracks. I'm a good artist. Do you think we can collab together and come up? That's the best solution because it's honest. Okay. But this is Michael Mike. And like I said, when we're going into doing music, you got to understand something. And that is, when we're dealing out this, there's 2 types of people. Okay. Whether it's in music or religion or whatever. You got people who, if you set your hand on fire, they can see your hand on fire. They can look and see that and say, your hand ain't on fire. Then people is either with that garbage or something mentally wrong is wrong with them. It's the same thing in music. I want to be a producer. Okay, are you going to study? Are you going to learn the programs? No, well then you're not going to do it. So you're wasting your time. And then what that involves is the next step, it turns you into a hater. Or I hate with it. And you're hating something that you could have done yourself that you didn't want to do. Remember, you ruined your own career, being your own career maker. So this is for people who wants to learn and get better. If you do not practice or you have shortcomings or whatever, improve on them areas. If it's doing music, then practice. It's not about having, that's one part. Music studios for 2 things. One is the fun where we make the music. The other is the lab. We know what this stuff, how it works and functions to make your music better. Okay. Singers have to learn to sing in key. You have to learn to read music. Okay. Just like the people who have to play it. There ain't no easy way to this. They like singing backgrounds. when they sing backgrounds, it's you and me, and then another one, it's you and me, and another one, it's you and me, and play them all. Yeah, that's background. No, that's not harmony. That's called unison. You're singing the same thing as you did the lead vocal. Those are not backgrounds, and I'll show you that because I've studied with Chuck Gilmore on here, who gets his stuff from Seth Riggs, the top vocal teacher it is, and he is. And both of them are good. They're both good. All right. So what I'm saying is, if you're gonna do this, do this. Whether it's come from doing music or writing lyrics or whatever, you gotta understand that if you're an artist and they want lyrics written, if it's gonna take you all day to write lyrics, and then what you're gonna do is I'm gonna write them in your mind. I'm gonna write them at my speed. Okay, let's see what happens at that. The music, when you're dealing with a record company, they're spending they so much money, and it's called a budget. Meaning, in so amount of time, that got to be done. They're not gonna wait on you. Oh, I'm gonna write it. Not they're not gonna do that. They're gonna get another artist. And who are you affecting? You affecting yourself by not pushing yourself to be able to write lyrics or be able to play an instrument or put music together. They're not gonna wait all day for you. If this is a weakness that you have, playing instruments, get up and practice them. If it's singing, get up and practice. If it's writing lyrics, write it. Because if you don't, they're not gonna spend all day with you. They're gonna get somebody else to write the lyrics, and that's another 150,000 out of your budget that they spend. So that's less money. Now you're not even writing your lyrics. Somebody else giving them to you. Now you got to figure, at least if you wrote them, you're kind of familiar with them. But if they get somebody else to do it, now you got to read, say how these go and how this go, and they got to give you a tape with somebody saying it. Then you just somebody that's around and you're getting paid less. And you got the ability to write your own lyrics. Or if you're playing an instrument, if you're playing your instrument and you're getting paid, okay, that's $250 an hour. Okay. So now by you not playing your instruments, then they're going to get somebody in there to play this because they don't have all day to wait for you to go and do all of this to get this done. It's a time value that's on there. You have to meet that, just like me engineering. I cannot sit here and engineer these tracks and take all day and 2 and 3. There's a time limit. Stuff has to be done. Even in engineering, it'll teach you. Another thing we teach, to mix quickly. We're not gonna sit up here and pull a lot of stuff. You got to get together. You got to move, not all slow like you in a wheelchair handicap. And I can understand that, but you have to get used to your equipment. That's anything like a basketball. When it's first giving it to you, it feels a certain way. Then you got to get used to playing, dribbling the ball and see how it works. You have to, with anything you do. And when you do this, this makes you great. And that's what I'm here to do, is to push you into the right direction where you have to. If you don't proceed at this, then guess what? You did your own self a favor by ruining yourself by not practicing. And like I said, there goes the two type of people. My hand is on fire. And then you look and say, if people see my hand is burning, a person with common sense, yeah, your hand on fire. The other one will see it burn and say, oh, your hand ain't on fire. The sun shining in it's daytime. Oh, the sun ain't shining. That's something wrong here. Okay? So, you're going to do music with this or whatever you're going to do. Music, basketball, whatever. If you want to be like Kobe, you got to practice them free throws, layups, practice with weights, eat right, rest, do all of that in your craft. It's the same thing with this. There's no difference. If you want your tracks to sound right, then you have to learn this format. If you don't do that, you're not fooling the record company. When you give them the tape, they already know what you ain't did. And they'll be, if it's a good song, they may still mess with you, but you're going to be broke. You're not going to end up with nothing because that's 150,000 gone. That could be in your pocket. Okay. Not only you could be paid as an artist, you could be paid doing other people engineering. You could be paid for writing. If you speed your writing up, you could write for other artists. You're narrowing your chance. If you play your instruments right, you can play for other artists, other bands, form your own band. Okay. All of these things can open up if you do this. If not, welcome to doing you. Okay. And some people just do this for a hobby, and I understand. But for those that's serious with it, this is the only way you're going to do it. That's why I say I teach and I show you what's going on. It's up to you. Where you want to be, however you want to be, I'm happy with that. But if you want to be, get your stuff right, you have to. If I go to a studio and go get my stuff recorded, okay, how do I know it's in key? Is the vocals in key? How do you know? You don't know what in key is. Okay, it's the kick tune. You don't know. You don't know what it is. Did they do this to it? You don't know. You don't know what it is. And once you get this off YouTube, it's already tracked. You can't. It's already on a. You can't remix and use channel racks and stuff on. It's already stuck together. You can clean up a couple of stuff, but it's not like when you're using equipment. All right. And when you get that tape in, they can tell. So who you fooling? You. You want to steal beats off YouTube and throw your lyrics on them and then go get a record deal? Go at it. Who own that music is going to come at you. And if he doesn't agree, career over. Okay? Unless it's a hell of a good song. Now they got to go get somebody else to do that, which is out of your pocket. Okay? So out of that, you'll wind up being broke. All right? And some deals, even if they put your stuff on the shelf or you say, well, forget that, I'm going to get a job, which that's how you think. Okay, well, they can come after that money too. So forever you locked in. If you don't know the business, if you don't know what's in them contracts, just, I want to be on TV and I got a record deal and none of that. What good is it if you're not making money? A record deal means nothing if you're not getting nothing. Let me tell you something else. You're putting your beats and stuff together, and I'm going to do a video on this. When I played the drums, I played the bass, I played the guitar, I played the keyboards, all of this. If there's something called a musicians union, I'm going to do a thing on this. Okay. All of them instruments, that's $250. And you selling your stuff to certain platforms, I ain't got to mention them, but certain platforms, and on these platforms, you're selling your beats for $20. And then they want 3 off that. That means $17. You're supposed to get paid $250 an hour. How many hours did it take you to do this playing all them instruments? That's what you need in your pocket. That means you're playing, to make the drum track, you're charging yourself $1.50, $2. That's ridiculous. But even less than that doesn't make sense. Okay? So I got to show you, and I know a connection where you will get these, you will get paid that type of money that you're supposed to. I'm going to do a video on that, all right? Because I've been on this before, okay? So I hope this video has been inspiring. It's fun to do one thing. Go ahead, go in the studio, make your music. But go to the lab and practice your craft. Whether it's rapping, singing, playing instruments, music, period. Practice your craft daily, okay? A little something daily beats nothing at all. And if you want practice today and then I ain't, the next week you're going to practice today, you can hang it up. Or the cop-out favorite, I play by ear. There's very few people, who can hear that well, okay? And most people do it for a cop-out. They don't want to learn to read music. So I play by ear. Then you can hear them bands. Everybody, they're just playing chords, just kind of sound kind of cool, but you don't know what you're doing. I've been through that. I used to do that for years, okay, until I had to do something, get my game together. That don't make sense. I'm pressing chords and don't know what but they sound cool. No, I want to know what they is. I want to know every chord it is on here and why am I using it. Now, after I got that info, I can come out with what I want, which the same thing you can do. You can be, now you got the power. You can unleash that power. But that's what you have to do. You know what I'm saying? So I hope this video has been inspirational to you. I'm coming with the next part of it. I'm going to mix today after I drop the vocals. I'll probably show that live and go through the concept of it, write the rap, do it, and for that mix, then go through the mastering process. This is Michael Mike, and I hope this has been very inspirational to you. Keep your head up, get your practice on. You know what I'm saying? I say it again. Get your practice on. Once again, this is my video. Watch the next. Hit the subscribe button, notification, so you know that I'm on here and we can finish the next part of this. I'm Maestro. I am out. Let me ring out with this.